The boy's voice trembled over the roar of the storm. "That's my teacher, Daddy!" The man froze. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. The rain fell in heavy sheets, blurring the world outside the school's cracked windows. Inside, a small boy sat curled on a bench, his clothes soaked and his hands trembling. The classroom, usually filled with laughter and chatter, felt cold and unfamiliar today. His eyes were fixed on the man standing at the front, a teacher with kind eyes and a gentle smile, but there was something familiar about him that the boy couldn't place. "That's my teacher, Daddy," the boy whispered, his voice trembling with disbelief and hope all at once. The man froze mid-step, his heart pounding. He could not believe what he had just heard. It was a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, a fragile thread connecting the past and the present, a moment that would change both of their lives forever. If you believe in the power of kindness, second chances, and the miracles of human connection, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. This story is for you. The man, whose name was Samuel, had spent years burying parts of himself he wished he could forget. Once he had been a teacher full of passion and dreams, devoted to children and the possibilities that education could open. But life had a cruel way of breaking people, and Samuel had stumbled into a world of mistakes, regrets, and lost opportunities. His career ended abruptly after a scandal that had nothing to do with his dedication to his students, but everything to do with misunderstanding and misfortune. For years, he drifted in the shadows, teaching only sporadically in small, forgotten towns, never quite believing that redemption was possible. And now, standing there in that old dim classroom, Samuel faced a boy who might just remind him of the person he once was. The boy's name was Ethan, a quiet, observant child with eyes too old for his age, carrying a weight that no child should have to bear. His mother had passed away years ago, leaving him in the care of a father who struggled with his own demons, a man who worked long hours, never noticing the silent pleas in Ethan's letters and homework. Yet Ethan never gave up hope. He believed in the goodness of people, even when the world had taught him otherwise. As Samuel knelt to meet Ethan's gaze, memories surged like a tidal wave. He remembered a classroom from long ago, the laughter of children, the innocence and curiosity that had once filled his days. But more than that, he remembered a promise he had made, long ago, to never stop believing in the potential of a single child. And now, here was Ethan, standing before him like a living testament to that promise. The room seemed to shrink around them, the rain outside a distant roar, as if the universe itself had paused to witness this reunion. Samuel took a deep breath, fighting back the emotions that threatened to overwhelm him. He approached Ethan slowly, extending a hand that had once been so steady and certain, now slightly trembling with the weight of years lost. Ethan's grip was firm, his small fingers wrapping around Samuel's in a way that conveyed trust, recognition, and an unspoken bond that neither time nor distance could sever. Samuel wanted to speak, to pour out all the regrets, apologies, and hopes that had accumulated over years of silence, but words failed him. Instead, he simply nodded, letting the connection speak for itself. The days that followed were not easy. Samuel took on the role of Ethan's mentor, guide, and friend, navigating the fragile trust they were building. Ethan struggled in school, his confidence eroded by years of neglect and self-doubt. Samuel worked tirelessly, often staying late, guiding him through each lesson with patience and unwavering dedication. He used stories, games, and small victories to rebuild the boy's faith in himself. Each smile Ethan gave, each spark of understanding, felt like a victory not just for the boy but for Samuel, a reminder that redemption was possible and that one person could indeed make a difference. Outside of school, the world remained harsh. Ethan's father was often absent, and the neighborhood they lived in was tough, filled with noise, distraction, and hardship. Samuel worried constantly, knowing that no lesson plan could shield the boy from life's cruelty. But he also saw Ethan's resilience, a quiet strength that refused to be broken. Together they navigated the small triumphs and setbacks, each day a delicate dance between patience and encouragement, hope and reality. One rainy afternoon, as Samuel helped Ethan pack his bag after school, a moment of vulnerability broke through the walls the boy had built. Ethan clutched a small worn notebook to his chest, his eyes shining with unshed tears. I used to think I was alone, he said softly, voice barely above a whisper. But now I know someone believes in me. Samuel felt his own eyes well with tears, and for the first time in years he allowed himself to feel the depth of his emotions fully. In that moment, all the mistakes, the heartache, and the lost years seemed to converge into a single transformative point. They were both given a second chance. Weeks turned into months, and with Samuel's guidance, Ethan began to flourish. His grades improved, his confidence grew, and he started speaking up in class, sharing ideas, and even helping other students. The transformation was quiet but profound, like a fragile flower finally finding sunlight. Samuel, too, felt a renewal. Teaching again reminded him of his purpose, of the person he had always wanted to be. He realized that sometimes the universe placed people in your path not by chance, but to remind you that hope could endure, that mistakes could be redeemed, and that love, simple, patient, unwavering love, could heal wounds long thought permanent. Then came the day that changed everything. Samuel had arranged a small exhibition at the school showcasing the students' projects. Ethan's project, a carefully crafted model of a sustainable city, stood out not just for its creativity but for the heart and thought that went into it. Parents, teachers, and classmates marveled at the work, and Ethan's father finally took notice. He watched silently from the back, a mixture of pride, guilt, and wonder on his face. Samuel observed the quiet exchange, understanding that change was not just about academic success, but about hearts opening, forgiveness being offered, and bonds being restored. After the exhibition, as the crowd dispersed, Ethan ran to Samuel, throwing his arms around him. "Thank you, Mr. Samuel, for never giving up on me," he said, his voice thick with emotion. Samuel held the boy close, feeling the years of pain and longing melt away. "You had it in you all along," he whispered. "I just helped you see it." The moment lingered, a perfect intersection of past mistakes and present redemption. Samuel knew that the journey ahead would still hold challenges, that life would continue to test them both. But he also knew that they had discovered something unbreakable, the power of belief, the strength of human connection, and the courage to rise again after falling. As they walked home together, the rain had stopped, leaving behind a fresh, clean world. The sky glowed with the first hints of sunset, painting everything in warm, forgiving hues. Samuel glanced at Ethan and realized that the boy had not only reclaimed his confidence, but had, in turn, healed Samuel's own wounded spirit. They were bound by a story of loss, hope, and unwavering trust, a story that would carry them forward, stronger than either could have imagined. If this story touched your heart, please engage with this video. Like, comment, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that second chances are real, and that kindness can change lives. Before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below with a moment when someone's belief in you made all the difference. In the quiet of that evening, Samuel stood at the edge of the schoolyard, watching Ethan run ahead, laughter spilling into the world like music. He understood now what redemption truly meant. It was not a solitary path, but one walked together, through patience, understanding, and love. That day, under the soft glow of the setting sun, a teacher and a boy had rewritten their story, proving that sometimes the smallest gestures, the gentlest words, and the unshakable belief in someone else could create miracles that last a lifetime. Samuel's heart swelled with gratitude, and as he turned to leave, he knew, with a certainty he hadn't felt in years, that this was the beginning of something beautiful, a story not of mistakes, but of forgiveness, courage, and hope. And in Ethan's bright eyes he saw the reflection of a better world, one where second chances were possible, and where love, above all else, could heal even the deepest wounds.